This is Twit.
It's so pretty in the pictures up on PC Per.
Look at that. That hardline liquid build was performed by case reviewer extraordinaire Kent Burgess here for PC Perspective. And he's also upped his photography game considerably. So I feel like he's arrived. This is it. The penultimate case review from Kent so far. And it's funny because this Enthoo, if you remember, Phanteks Enthoo, their previous version of, I think it was called the Lux. Because, of course, we could spin this negative, too, because they had a case called the Lux. And this was going to be the Lux 2. And they showcased it as the Lux 2. I think it was at CES a year ago. And then another company, Thermaltake, comes forward and says, you can't use that name. And so instead of it going to court or settlement, they just said, fine, we're just going to change the name. We're not going to go to court. They actually had a press release they sent out to different outlets stating that they were changing the name of our upcoming case. So it's kind of funny, but at the same time, good for them that they just said, forget it. We're not going to go to court over the name of a case. So this became the Enthoo 719, which is really the Lux 2. And the Lux was this giant case that could actually hold two systems at the same time. That was the gimmick. I think I'm the one who reviewed the original one like 5 years ago. And sure enough, you could put a SFX power supply in the back alongside an ATX power supply, I think is how it worked. And you could put a mini ITX motherboard on one side and a standard ATX motherboard on the other side. I don't know why you'd really ever want to do that, but if you did want to do that, this case actually does support it, though Kent did not do a dual system build. He did a conventional build, and then he used hardline liquid cooling just to see if it all fit. And that's kind of where he ran into some issues, and I've seen some feedback about this with people using certain radiator sizes and that sort of thing, using the floor versus the ceiling of the case for different rads. And it was kind of a mixed bag. It doesn't come with any fans or anything, so his testing of the case was kind of, he just relegated it to his own standardized in-house testing where he uses the same set of fans for every case. But in the end, it was kind of it was an above average performer as far as airflow is concerned, which is nice for a case that has a solid front panel. Because if you're looking at pictures of this, you'll see big vent openings all around, like the edges of the front panel. And there are screen filters on 3 sides, and it seems to take in quite a bit of air, which is nice. But he said, because of design choices that Phanteks made with this, quote, building in the 719 requires an attention to detail and component specs that go a little beyond any other case I've used previously. However, if you work within the limitations, the additional care is worth it, as you will be rewarded with an excellent system in the end, end quote. So a little tricky to build in, some complaints about clearances and mounting certain things. But in fairness, he did have quite a complex build. He used every inch of the case, pretty much. So not everybody will run into those issues, but it looks great. I mean, his build, of course, looks nice. I like the look of these cases. They're huge, too. This is a full tower. This is not a mid-tower case. And for a case this big, we were talking last year about how 200 seems to be the new 100 for case pricing. Something this huge, it's a full tower, 190, like it's 189.99. So it's not crazy expensive at all. So if you're in the market for that really high end enclosure for your next build, plus he reviewed this. I think they call it anthracite gray. I really like these. Looking at the pictures here, this case looks really cool in that gray color, in my opinion. So you can check out the full review at PCPro.com. Look at Kent's photography and check out his liquid-cooled final product here, which is very nice.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Well done.